I pledge allegiance to the flag for
Of the
the
United States of America
and
and
to
to
the
the
republic
republic for
for
which it
which it stands,
stands,
one
one
nation,
nation,
under
under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. You may always speak it if you're not already. All right. So welcome to today's meeting of the Order of Smedley, or as someone else referred to, the Order of the Brady Bunch. Because all right. I am your SNA for today. My name is Van Nancy. I also serve as treasurer for this club. I have been involved with Toastmasters since 2014, and I'm very happy because I've gotten to meet wonderful people like Donna, actual name Duang Duan, and Elle, and Beverly, and Jeanette through Toastmasters, which makes life so great. Carol, I'll get to know you better, I promise. You know, I do see that we have a couple of guests present today. So I'm just going to ask you to introduce yourself real quick, and we'll start with Michelle. So Michelle, can you tell us where you're from, what your home club is, and how you heard about us?
My home club is Club 5750 in Parksville, BC, Arbutus Toastmasters, and that's in Canada. And we're District 21, Division C, and I heard about you from my neighbor Mike, Brady Bunch Mike, if he's over there. And our club has been thinking about becoming a hybrid club, and Zoom, you can visit other clubs, so we thought we'd visit yours at 6:30 in the morning, Canada time.
Oh, wow. You're on the West Coast.
Yeah.
Michelle, I can echo your sentiment. I got up for a Japanese club at 5 in the morning, okay? So don't
Yeah.
worry. I know how passionate that is, okay? Thank you. And Mike, you know, I know you're mainly with Michelle, but could you introduce yourself as well?
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. Hello, fellow Toastmasters, and welcome guests. I'm a new member, relatively new member to Toastmasters, and I became VP of PR starting in, 1st of July. And I heard about the club, well, as Michelle said, we were thinking about hybrid. We wanted to learn, and one of the members within the club is really high up in terms of I don't know,
She's the
knowledge
growth
and awareness. Pardon?
She's the growth director, and she's got DTM, and she's the district.
I am not quite. I don't know the significance of. I mean, I know DTM is pretty amazing, but the growth director and the different titles, I'm still learning a lot. So we're just going. I've said so many so's, ands, and uhs this moment. I don't know. I'm so nervous right now.
No worries.
Thank you very much for having us, and we're excited to experience your club. And thank you.
You're welcome. And what I would advise you guys to do, because today is a mainly online experience, but in 2 weeks we're having a joint meeting with another club. And we were actually going back full hybrid for that meeting. So I would encourage you guys to join that because you'll get to see what our full hybrid model looks like. And I would encourage that for you all. And last but certainly not least, Shu Chin Lee, could you tell us what your home club is and how you heard about us?
Yes, good morning, fellow Toastmasters and most welcome guests. I just moved down to Florida few months ago, and my home club is still based in New York City, which name is Lexington Toastmasters Club, and that's the club I joined 2 years ago. But before that, I belonged to another Toastmaster club, and I moved down to Florida, and a friend of mine in New York City, right now he's District 46 Program Quality Director, Young Paul Lupo. and he introduced me. He said, there's a wonderful club in Florida. You got to see that. So that's why I went on, I got an email from Lauren, and she directed me and gave me the Zoom link. So I'm glad to see people here, and maybe I will, the potential of the club, I might able to join. Thank you.
You got it. All right, thank you so much. What do you prefer to be called, Shu or Chin-Li or something else?
Sue?
Yeah,
Sue? Okay.
Sue? Okay, Sue, we'll call you Sue.
Easy. Sue.
All right. So now that I've kind of gotten the introductions out of the way, you know, and I'm glad for all of you that have come, all right, I'm going to introduce today's Toastmaster. Today's Toastmaster is a founding member of the Order of Smedley. They are also a highly intelligent and capable individual. You know, they have a high degree of financial acumen and decision making. They served as the controller at a Fortune 250 company here in the United States, Jabil Inc., and which specializes in electronic manufacturing service, as well as about 1,000 other things. So please help me welcome our Toastmaster of the Day, former District 48 Audit Committee member, Elle Holtzman.
Woohoo! Thank you so much, Zen. That was a wonderful introduction. Ice, ice, baby. I should have had the music blaring. Does anybody remember the song from Vanilla Ice? Yes. Vanilla Ice, in my book, was a one-hit wonder. I used to work on a agile project, and we always had our theme was one-hit wonders. We selected Vanilla Ice one time, and he came to mind because I believe there's a movie coming out about him. I think he has an interesting story, which we'll have to look into. But the real reason I chose it for this meeting, the meeting theme was originally Dog Days of Summer, which I equate more with August, so I would like to repurpose that. But what I like to do when there's not any speakers signed up is I like to use the Toastmaster role and the table topics role to explore a topic. And personally, my next project is to do an icebreaker for my second path, which is strategic relationships. And of course, my new term for procrastination is conserving my energy. I'm conserving my energy. I don't want to start this project yet, but I thought it would be a great opportunity for each of us to go around the Brady Bunch circle. And I would like us to do a mini icebreaker. And I think it will help us get unstuck if we're stuck somewhere. And if you want to take notes, I can tell you what the format of it should be. You can ad-lib or do it your own way, but for lack of anything else, what you might want to include in these would be your why for Toastmasters, your why for your path, what your next speech or project is, as well as your obstacle. Now, before we do that, we have certain functionaries that will help us with this meeting. And in Smedley, according to the agenda, it has the Toastmaster identifying the roles. Beverly is our general evaluator today. Good morning, Beverly. Would you like to introduce what you will be doing? And if you want to, you can introduce the functionaries. Beverly?
Thank you, Ellen. Good morning. I am the general evaluator. I will be evaluating the meeting, and I do have people that help me. One, they call a tag team. Zen is the timer. Zen, would you please explain your role?
Certainly, once I unmute myself. So today is a little bit of a non-standard meeting as we're mainly doing a lot of table topics, okay? So normally we would have 3 sections. We would have prepared speeches, we would have table topics, and then we would have evaluations, okay? You know, you can't have an evaluation if you don't have a prepared speech. So I'm simply gonna leave those explanations out also because we're an advanced club and most everyone here knows, you know, what the timer does. That said, I do want to introduce one major caveat that we have in this club that most other clubs do not have. That is that we have what's called a table topics evaluator. And we will evaluate your table topics to give you advice to improve to see how you would do it in an actual table topics contest. Okay. Now, knowing that, I will also add in here that, as you know, we're at 1 minute, 1.5 minutes, and 2 minutes for table topics, and I will have timing lights for you, okay? And the timing lights I've got are actually virtual backgrounds. At 1 minute, I will show you the green background. At 1.5 minutes, I will show you the yellow background. And then at 2 minutes, I will show you the red background. We don't typically hand out ribbons for our contest speeches, or actually our weekly club meetings. So you can go ahead and understand that even if you OT, it's not going to technically impact anything. I would just encourage you to stay within time. Thank you. Madam General Evaluator.
Thank you, Zane. We also have an counter, Kara.
Yes. Good morning, everyone. Today, my role is to count your unnecessary utterances that you use in your speech. They could be words like like, so, and, but, and repeats. They repeats. I will be making note of those on my handy dandy sheet, and I will report at the end of the meeting.
Thank you so much. We also have a grammarian, Donna. Will you explain your role, please?
My role as a grammarian, I will provide the word of the day, which is today. Can you see it? Oh my God, so light. Sultry, S-U-L-T-R-Y, and I'll put in the chat too. The meaning of sultry is very hot and humid. For example, you know, when you want to describe the hot and humid day, August coming up will be a lot of salty, I guess, sultry days or whatever. It's an adjective. The other meaning is hot with passion or anger, excitement, or capable of exciting, strong sexual desire. So example of that one would be, she looked at him with a salty glance. And so beside providing the word of the day, I also will try to capture any beautiful phrases, some good or bad grammars, and I will report also at the end of the meeting. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And I will give a report of the meeting at the end of the meeting. Elle?
Wonderful. Thank you, Beverly, our general evaluator. Beverly is also our vice president of membership, and she will be reaching out to our guests after the meeting. I believe we have Shu's email and Michelle's email. We might not have Mike's. Mike, if you could chat your email to Beverly while we're on here, and then we'll follow up later. Thank you so much. Okay, now we're on to the portion of the meeting where we are going to use this time in place of the speeches, and we're still going to have regular table topics at the end, which will be hosted by our lovely Jeanette. And she also has an important role in this club as secretary, and she does a fine job. She puts the agenda together. I feel spoiled that she does this, but I'm not going to stop her because I love it. Anyway, I do want to point out also on the mission of this club, the vision statement is the Order of Smedley exists to empower, embrace, and elevate your speaking experience. We call this the E3 statement. And we do have fun things that we do since we are on video. When you need to clap, you can shake your hands like this. And when you hear that word of the day, snack, and so forth. Some people bring pom-poms and other props. You're welcome to do that next time. Virginia's not here. She's famous for that. All right. I've given enough time for people to be thinking about it. Does anyone want to go first? And then does anybody want to be the evaluator of the icebreaker, or should I just do that? After each icebreaker, I'm going to offer you a piece of cake and a pickle with it. I'm going to say, this is what you could improve, and this is what you could do better. I'll just take that role so that it's not too complicated. All right, I think, who would be good to go first? Maybe somebody who's really sultry, doesn't need a Nancy Pelosi scarf to hide their... I would say Donna, you need to go first. All right, Donna, why Toastmasters? Why the path you're on? What's your next project? How do you use Toastmasters in real life? And what are your obstacles? Any of the above, 1 to 2 minutes. Let's hear about Donna.
Hey, you guys. The reason I joined Toastmaster is I was born and raised in Thailand. And I came to this country in 1976. And I feel like all this time that I was in America, I never had a chance to have a great foundation of English. So when Toastmaster was introduced to me, I said, okay, if I don't learn anything else from this group, at least learn the basic English speaking skill. So I had been a Toastmaster ever since 2014. But basically, I just said, okay, I'm just going to join to have fun and just learn the basic English. Many years gone by, a week ago, we were roasting our president at Club 2284 in St. Petersburg. He was roasting me back. Gordana, how long you been a Toastmaster? I said 5 years. And then he said, sadly to say, until now, you still don't know your English. It was so funny. But basically, you know what? I learned so much from, as a Toastmaster, I learned so much from you guys. I had so many friends through Toastmaster. And I feel like every week you'll be able to express yourself. You'll be able to share your story, sad, happy moment, and the Toastmaster will embrace you. And it's just amazing. That by itself is worth the money. The money cannot compare to that. My path, I picked leadership, innovative leadership, or dynamic leadership. And also the other one I picked was humor, engaging humor. And by doing that, I guess instead of being sad about my own personal life, I took Toastmaster skill and I got on the comic stage. So this past 2 years, I've been doing a stand-up on and off with my humor that I learned from Toastmaster, and then my own personal life. I took it on the stage. I said, I'm not gonna cry of what's happening in my life. I'm just gonna laugh about it and just keep on with it. Thank you.
Wonderful, Donna. Thank you for that. And in keeping with the evaluation immediately after, your strong point is, of course, your humor throughout. I did notice some warm-up time, but you covered all the bases. I think the pickle is more for me. I think we need to allow 2 to 3 minutes for this. Zane, could you adjust the time to be 2-minute minimum and 3 at the length? Because I think she finally got into what's next for her project.
That's
at,
fine.
uh,
That's
in the-
fine. I've already made the adjustment. You got it.
All right, you're way ahead of me. All right, does anyone have their topic queued up, or shall I call around the room? I'm going to call on the guests last to give you more time to think about it. Anyone? I see your smiling face, Kira. Kira, please tell us why Toastmasters, why your path, how do you use this in real life? What is your next speech or project? And what obstacles do you have in doing that next thing? Please welcome Kira.
Good morning. Thank you, Madam Toastmaster, and good morning, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Why Toastmasters? I enjoy speaking to groups, yet I wanted to work on my speaking skills. And I find that Toastmasters is 1 hour of personal development. Now, a little bit more than that when I joined the Order of Smedley, that I'm able to work on those skills with like-minded individuals. Every week I learn from my club members at Trinity Odessa, and I enjoy it thoroughly, even over Zoom. It's great. So that's why Toastmasters. The path I've chosen is leadership development. I didn't actually choose it. I took the little test and it chose me. And so in Toastmaster fashion, it has a path and order. I'm beginning level 4. I have not even had a chance to look at it, so I'm not sure what my next project or speech will be, yet I'm planning to do a speech, so I'll figure it out in there somehow, about why younger people should join Rotary. I read an article about 7 reasons why younger professionals should join a Rotary Club, and I want to go out and help recruit members to both Toastmasters and to Rotary. And so I'm looking forward to that. I use this in real life because I'm a realtor and I shoot videos about homes, about topics. People like to see video, especially live video. So my friends will say, how are you so composed and confident? How do you know to stare at the camera and not yourself? And I do that through practice. So it's something that really helps and does apply to my day-to-day life. In our Rotary Club, I introduce speakers. I'm constantly called on in Zoom meetings to speak on the fly, and Toastmasters has helped me to hone those skills. I wish I could say, well, I guess, I shouldn't say that I have a sultry look when I'm giving these speeches, but I had to use the word of the day. I love weaving it in there. And what more can I say? I look forward to growing my skills through the Order of Smedley, and I look forward to getting to meet all of you a little bit better. Thank you so much.
Excellent. Thank you, Kara. I hope you took notes because that could be your next speech. It sounded like an infomercial for Toastmasters and Rotary. Very well done. Let's see, what could I put in there for the pickle? I think for the pickle, you did identify your next obstacle. I think your presentation was on point, especially for an impromptu speech. It almost seemed like a prepared speech. So you hit the nail on the head. I think a lot of times our obstacle is logging in and seeing what the next step is. And so I encourage you to do that next time around. Thank you. All right. Let's see, who can I pick on next? I see Jeanette. Jeanette, you have a long journey with Toastmasters. You shared you've been at it for 10 years. Why did you join Toastmaster in the first place? What is your path? How are you using Toastmasters in real life? What is your next project, and what obstacles are standing in your way? Please welcome Jeanette.
Thank you. Well, I joined Toastmasters because I wanted to really be able to present myself in front of the public as what Toastmasters is known for. I have always been a shy person, even with my family, but once I hit college and was on my own, I sprouted. I was a crazy woman, but I think Toastmasters helped me get more inner strength in me and become more organized and more thorough, so I'm not spreading the word and going in every direction. But I also joined because I wanted to connect with people that can help me become a leader. I really want to become a leader because right now I'm in the corporate world, if you will, working my way out of the corporate world because I want to fulfill my dream as opposed to fulfilling their dream. So I'm working on that, and the path I'm in, I am working on dynamic leadership. I received my traditional DTM last month, I think it was, or May. I'm not sure exactly when I officially got it, but I finally earned it after 6 years. But I'm working on dynamic leadership, and I fulfilled the role 2 years ago being a division director, which really helped me use my leadership and follow through. But I wish I had used that while I was in this dynamic leadership path. I think I would have learned a lot more and followed through with more. My obstacles are, how do I take a risk and leave the corporate world, not having another agenda to attend to, if you will, or having another job, because I really don't want to go into another person's dream. I want to fulfill my dream. So do I stay? My obstacle is, do I stay where I'm at and kind of do a side gig, or do I take that big risk, jump off of that ship and jump onto a new ship? So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Thank you.
Thank you, Jeanette. Yes, you did tell quite a nice story. Does anyone beside me have any comments for Jeanette? I do feel like I might be a broken record if I take all the time. Does anybody have any? Oh, good. Mike, help me out here. I know Jeanette too well. It's hard for me to critique, my friends.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. I actually just have a question. I was really wondering what Jeanette's dream or goal. She was talked a lot about other people's dreams, but didn't say what her dream was. And I would really like to hear a little bit of that, if possible, sometime.
Sure.
Private message is
Yeah,
okay.
because I think I just barely made the green light. So my dream is to have my own resort hotel, because I want to have, like a couple of my Toastmaster groups, we had a place, it wasn't the greatest, and it took us a while to find another place. And I would like to have a hotel with different conference rooms assigned for just Toastmaster clubs. And also, a lot of my friends are stuck in their lives where they aren't sure where they really want to go, and they have a place, but they don't have the place they really want. And I would like to have a hotel where they can sit, ponder, hit the beach, enjoy many, and meet other people from other walks of life and connect with other people. So that's my dream. I just need to find a capital angel investor. That's all I need.
There you go. Excellent. Yes, thank you, Mike. And I think Jeanette now has her next project is to make that vision statement more crisp. And when we come out of COVID, we could all be in her luxury resort having these hybrid meetings. Yay! All right. Are any of our guests ready to share their mini icebreaker? Mike, I can tell you're warmed up now. All right, we know the drill now. Why Toastmasters? Why your path? How are you using it in real life? What's your next project? And what's your obstacle? Please welcome Mike, our guest.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. Hello, fellow Toastmasters and honored guests. I would say there's the reason people say for Toastmasters, there's a reason that I would say for Toastmasters, and then there's the other reason, and probably the other reason, which I wouldn't ordinarily say, but I'll just tell you just because, is the people. Ultimately, the reason why I joined the Toastmasters Club that I'm in today is because of the members that currently exist and just how welcomed I felt and how interesting and how much I learned. Because the other reason why I chose Toastmasters, the one that I would ordinarily say, is, well, you challenge yourself. I love learning. I love sharing what I've learned, and I love learning from other people and being comfortable being uncomfortable. So why I'm only in one path, presentation mastery. I chose it because somebody suggested it. They say this is the one that everybody who joins Toastmasters does, and I'm really enjoying it. I think it's structured really well. My next speech is on communication styles, which communication, we all know, is very important. I took the quiz, and my next speech is on Monday, and I became I am predominantly what's the word? I can't. It's a supportive communication style. That's my style. Which, for those of you who don't know, it means if I'm in a discussion with somebody with two other people, who have very, very opposing views, as a supportive communicator, I have the ability to unite them in a shared annoyance with what I'm saying. And that's a joke. Attempt at humor. So my obstacle for this particular speech is basically choosing what to, actually, this is the biggest thing. In a lot of speeches for me, it's choosing what to say and what to leave out. Usually, and this is a quote from some or many people, usually you can have a long speech, and then why didn't you make your speech shorter? It's because they didn't have enough time to prep it. It's a weird situation where you have a long speech. Choosing what to say is really a huge amount of the time of deciding what to include and what not to include, what not to include. So I'm hoping to include basically a standard introduction, 3 points, tips, a conclusion, and 2 stories. That would be great for me. If you have a tip on communication style, this is my call to action, which is something that I leave out a lot. Please, a tip on communication styles, or what do you think I could be, what you think I should include, please private message it to me. I will insert it into my speech on Monday and give you a shout out. So thanks very much, Madam Toastmaster.
All right, a man after my own heart. That's what I mean. You can use your other roles to help prep for your speech and gather information. Well done. What I thought was really great, you have some really great points in your speech, which was impromptu. If you crisp that up, I think it would work really well. With the beginning, when you said, I think what you're trying to say is people come for speaking in leadership, people stay for the people. And one thing that helps me shorten things, I've been practicing flash fiction, where you have to write the story in 70 words or less. And that does help you get the fluff out. I haven't tried it with a speech yet, but that might be worth it. What I thought you excelled at was your humor and enthusiasm. I think that will go well. You hit all the points, and we do need Toastmasters in real life uniting those false dichotomies in a shared annoyance. You got to keep that in your speech. That was pretty good. Write that down. All right. Thank you. Well done. All right. I'm going to call on Zen last. I'm wondering if Michelle might be ready.
Sure. Thank you, Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and other welcome guests. I joined Toastmasters in December 2016 for a reason that is twofold. One is I had a teenager who was graduating and going to be leaving home, and I didn't really have an outside life other than being a mom, so I figured I needed to have an activity. The second reason why I joined is because I used to work for Child Protection Services, and we would have to go to court and testify a lot. And I'm fair-skinned, so I would get red in the face and get really nervous and feel warm and hot, and now I don't. So I am the outgoing VPPR, and I've also been Sergeant at Arms and the Division C area Assistant Director. I finished my Advanced Communicator Bronze and my Advanced Leadership Bronze, which leads me to my challenge, which is Pathways, getting on board and doing that. So it's been difficult because I like the manuals and I I like sitting down and writing old school, and Pathways is more online, which is great, but I want in real life. But right now with COVID, we're online anyway, so I started my Pathways my first pathway in presentation mastery, and I've given the first 3 speeches, and my next project is the same as my fellow Toastmaster Mike, learning my communication style. So there's one for Kara. Other than that, I can't think of anything else to add, except for we live in a very good community, and our club at its highest had 35 members, and we're not a corporate club, we're a community club, and our area of the world is quite slower paced. We live on an island, so people are more go with the flow type of people. So Toastmasters gives some anchor to that, because you could float away on the island if you don't have an anchor, because there's a lot of hippie type stuff here. Anyways, Toastmasters keeps it positive, keeps it educational, and keeps us coming back and learning how to speak and interact. Thank you, Madam Toastmaster.
Wonderful. Thank you, Michelle. Your definite skill is you're very poised and polished. The note of improvement would be, I could tell when you were thinking out loud, but that's because it's an extended impromptu speech. 2 things I'd like to give you as a parting thing, because I too am an incubator when I am thinking about a speech. I don't just sit down and write it all out. I like to keep the idea around. And in Pathways, I go into the project, and you can print the project if you're old school. It's your ink, your paper, recycle the paper for those who like to save the world. And then you could still have your old school writing it out. You are more creative when you're writing by hand, so keep that. At the end, you talked about the island. I literally just finished An Island to Myself by Tom Neal from the 60s. He lived in an island in the South Pacific for 5 years, and the slow-paced life, and that's what we're feeling in COVID. I think you definitely have a speech there, especially if you're Zooming in other areas. I would encourage you to somehow talk about island life and how luxurious and easygoing it is. That might be a good speech. Thank you so much, Michelle. All right, Sue, I'm going to call on you next, and I would like Kara to evaluate. I feel like I'm talking too much. Kara, will you plan to evaluate Sue? Sue, do you remember the question? We would like to know why you chose Toastmasters and what path. Well, how are you using it in real life? What's your obstacle and what's your next project? Please welcome Sue. Bless you.
Thank you.
Hi, good morning, everyone. We just heard that Donna talk about her journey, how she becomes a Toastmaster. I kind of got started someplace like she was before. Fortunately, I joined the club, which is one of the biggest in New York City, and called the New York Toastmaster Club. And that club was very, very diverse. And you know, New York City, people come from all over around the corner of the world. So I really like it. It's like a place that I join, I feel like a home right away. And so that being a club member, over there, I finished my traditional educational program with a Toastmaster. And at the end of my complete my DTM, we all have to do high performance leadership project, and that really changed my life. Give me a new perspective of what Toastmaster is really about. And also from the project, I also become the District 46 TLI educational chair. I also open up another scope of what I see the possibility of being a Toastmaster member. That means that I already moved from personal development, build my self-confidence, and to another level, which is more integrative, also collaborative with different members in the district, which would give me the ideas about how important is education it is. Because the people being a Toastmaster, join the club, and they will say, I come here just want to improve my communication skill. I realize that leadership is essential part. People tend to overlook it. So when I choose the pathway, I choose the visionary communication, which I want to provide my idea, my vision, how can be shared with the larger group. But this is not like easy to do. It's a big vision. I want to change the world. I change myself too. How I gather make it very, very simple to understood. It's very difficult. So when I do work on my high performance leadership project, I organize the 2 speech evaluations workshop. So in the workshop, I create a thing, a logo, an image, how easy to communicate the workshop I would like to deliver with who plan to come in to join us. So I use the elephant and the blind man. So it's kind of, I put that on the postcard. I really resonate the people, so I get the people attention right away. So it's the way it's just one example, but I think that logo work for that particular occasion. But in the way who I want to have my own vision, I shape out the world to be a better communicator that is even larger scope. So I'm working recently, one of the path I took on is visionary communication. The other path is very, very challenging for me, is engaging humor. So I'm working on these 2 paths all together. But I think the bigger challenge for me is to deliver humor when I speak. So I'm working on, and I'm right now, I finished both paths at a level 1, so I'm working on the level 2. So I do not have a specific project idea I can share with you, but it's the elements, the path I'm working on, and the obstacles, a particular giving the humor. That's where my challenges is. And I think it is very important. Look at your club, the visions about 3E, empower, embrace, and elevate. I really, right now, I think I already got an idea how to empower, because through my leadership experience, how to elevate, that's another level I'm working on. So I'm looking forward my Toastmasters journey, and it will continue to roll on and expand my life. Thank you.
That's wonderful, Sue. I like how you picked up on the vision statement. Kara, how did she do? Let's hear.
Thank you for that great icebreaker. You did really well answering and covering all of the topics and questions at hand. So good job with that. You are very passionate, and we could feel the passion. You embraced even the motto of this club, and I thought that was great. I loved your examples of how you're marketing Toastmasters for others to get them engaged. And I also, my father is from Italy, and he moved here when he was 25 years old. So the language, right, learning to speak better and get that message across is something I really understand. The pickle is when you get so passionate, which I love passion, I love energy, you speak a little bit too quickly. And so I would focus on trying to slow down that speech a little bit, and so that we can understand your message better. So overall, I loved your speech. I learned so much from you, and I loved how you wove it all together. You worked a couple of different pieces into the speech, even though you were answering the question. So kudos. Good job.
Thank you so much, Kara. That was great. All right, we have our last two icebreakers. I am going to call in Zane next. And Michelle, I would like you to do a 45-second evaluation of Zane. Do you know all of the questions and how to answer your icebreaker?
I do.
All right, please welcome Zane.
I joined Toastmasters because I was looking for connection. That said, connection 6 years ago means a lot differently to me today than what it meant then. Back then, I was just looking for business connections. I was just looking for clients. I was not necessarily looking for friends, and my first few speeches represented that. What I eventually came to find was that I wanted to overcome. That was part of my challenge. And after a certain turbulent time in my life, I found myself using Toastmasters to help me pick up the pieces. You know, I was heartbroken. I was dealing with a difficult situation with my family, you know. And what I found was that every time I went to a Toastmasters meeting, I found a great deal of positivity and energy and encouragement that I was not at the time finding anywhere else. That is why I joined Toastmasters. And I let my sadness and my loneliness and my difficult life motivate me to keep doing well in Toastmasters. And more than that, to seek out opportunities to connect with other Toastmasters. And as a result, I got my DTM. I learned a lot about leadership and financial leadership. And I was able to even help found a club, the club we're all sitting in today. And what I found over that time is that there are people who genuinely care, and that I am very encouraged that I've been able to make connections with all of them. I have my traditional DTM. I got it in August of last year. Now I recently started work on the innovative planning path. What am I doing with this path? One of our fellow Toastmasters mentioned that her dream is to own a luxury hotel. And what comes up in my mind is there has to be a way to innovate past the norm, to change the paradigm, to allow people who maybe haven't gotten to where they want to go in life to get where they want in life, whether it's financially, spiritually, or any other way. Okay? And what I have found is that while there is not much that is new under the sun, there are ideas that pass away with time and then can reappear when there is time for those to be exposed and used again. And innovative planning does not mean that I disrupt your life, but rather it means I help you create a disruption that builds your life and gives you an opportunity to achieve what you want to achieve by using whatever change method is needed. And I want to become a great innovative planner to help you find those methods of success for you. Thank you.
Thank you, Zane. This is turning out to be a good exercise. I like that people have paths that I didn't even consider. And now they sound interesting. I want to do that one too. Michelle, can you offer some constructive feedback for Zane? Please welcome Michelle.
Sure. Thank you, Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and other guests, and especially Zane. Zane, I affirm your speech, acknowledging you for using your vulnerability and your authentic self instead of your business self, and letting us know that your intention for joining Toastmasters had evolved from going in there with one lens and agenda and coming out of it with many more strengths and visions and purposes for what you can share and use in your own life, but also what you can share with others. So that work to include us in the speech is in the give and the take. As your thinking partner, what we focus on and try to do is to make eye contact, even though it's on Zoom, is because when I'm looking at you, you're looking to the side like this. And so maybe a bit more eye contact. And I like the use of your gesture at the end. And I liked your overall content. So overall, I think you have a clear motivation for being at Toastmasters and for staying. And I want to congratulate you for the DTM Under the Legacy program, because I wish I got ACB, ACL, or ALB, but I think anytime you can get DTM, that's worth congratulations. And yeah, thank you for your inspiring speech. Thanks.
Excellent. Thank you, Michelle. I do like hearing from other people. All right. Last but not least, we have Beverly. I already mentioned she's our Vice President of Membership. And I saved her for last because Beverly has given quite a few icebreakers. She probably has one handy. And I would like Sue to evaluate Beverly. Beverly, why Toastmasters? Why your path? How are you using it in real life? And do you have any obstacles on your next project? Beverly, please introduce yourself. Thank you.
Thank you, Al. Why Toastmasters? I saw an article, a small blurb in the Seminole Beacon in September 2013 about Toastmasters. It advertised a boot camp, and that is a mini course of 6 weeks that is to introduce you to the Toastmasters program. I thought, okay, I can take this and then my problems with speech will be all over. Yes, I have a problem with speech. I was born with 2 neurological disorders. One affects every aspect of my life, especially my thinking and speech. It kept me from being able to communicate in whole sentences. And that is something Toastmasters has helped me to overcome. And I am so ecstatic about that because my communication skills have soared. Why? I have just told you why. What path is strategic relationships? I have gone through a 2.5-year time span where I have been unable to really communicate. First part of this period is I was extremely dizzy, and that kept me from attending Toastmasters meetings because I couldn't trust myself to drive. Since March, I have been inundated with extreme pain. That has kept me from Toastmaster meetings. However, Zoom meetings have been a blessing because now I'm still able to participate in Toastmasters when the pain is not too bad. I want to resume building my skills as a leader and in communications. I feel that my skills have faltered in this period of time. I'm excited to get back to Toastmasters. So that is why I chose strategic relationships to begin my journey path. How do I use in real life? Toastmasters has given me a grit. I'm using that grit to overcome what I'm going through. I'm no longer the nasty, angry person I was years and years and years ago. And Toastmasters has given me a positive outlook on life, and I'm using that to get through what I'm going through right now. Thank you for calling on me.
Thank you, Beverly, for your grit and allowing us to be part of your upward spiral. That's wonderful. Sue, let's hear some feedback for Beverly. Thank you.
Hi.
Oh, go.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Al. I think I would like to continue what you said, the upward spirals on Beverly's speech. It really very positive and very, very inspiring. The way, the couple words, grief shows her resilience. Her soul will show her the aspiration. And she also talk about the pain and the physical and the reluctance of to engaging the world. So show her as a strong person. Being a Toastmaster member really can transform our lives. And also her speech cover all the aspects of why and which path she took and the obstacles, a couple elements in her life as her Toastmaster journey. Also her personal life, she talked about really connected to me. I think other audience will feel about the same way. It's a really very strong speech. Thank you so much, Beverly, share about your story. And the one thing that I think the way, because this is a video communication, sometimes, this is also quite a disadvantage, is not prepared. So in the way when she communicated, she kind of look about on the top, I can see the window, on the screen window, her eyes are turned up and she closed her eyes a number of times. And she paused and to try to think about the next ideas to come up. So as Kara gave as Michelle gave Sam's feedback about how in terms of communication on the video, we still need to continue to have eye contact with our audience, just to keep that in mind. And also maybe put yourself, raise your head a little bit up, maybe don't leave the half of the screen. Your head is only half a part of the screen, so maybe you raise yourself a little bit up, or maybe lower your computer window a little bit lower, so and then your whole face will be covered. Otherwise, a fantastic speak. I like the pacing, I like the energy, I like the positive of the message. Congratulations, Beverly, your icebreaker.
All right, thank you so much. This concludes our icebreaker session. I enjoyed hearing from everyone. We are right on time for table topics. I did hear Zan chime in. I'm not sure if he has a...
chime in, but there's nothing extra to say, that's all.
Okay, no point of order to be had?
No, I just wanted to evaluate Beverly, that's all.
Okay, great. All right, thank you. And now for our distinguished Toastmaster extraordinaire, Jeanette from her resort hotel will be hosting our table topics. Please welcome Jeanette.
Thank you. I wish I was in my resort hotel. I keep saying every morning I get to my desk because I work from home. I'm like, where is my hotel? Where's my hotel? Alrighty. Even though we've got some contracting information, our theme is ice, ice, baby, but Donna picked a hot and humid kind of word. We can intertwine them in our table topic. So my first question, I'll read the question, then I'll pick on somebody. And I only do a couple since I don't want to keep our Saturday too long. So we are in the summer season. How do you dress up your cool, refreshing drink? Al Holtzman. Do you put a lot of ice in that drink, or do you just let it sit and make the drink as it is with no ice? Or describe how you keep your cool drink refreshing.
I'm so glad you asked. Thank you for that question. I actually bought these cups at Target for 79 cents a piece. Anyway, I also have Celestial Seasoning iced tea, and they're tea bags that you can put in the water. It makes iced tea in 5 minutes on the go as you go. I always have iced tea. I have 40 bags left. You can add real lemon, a couple drops, and maybe some Truvia, and there you have it. Iced tea every day through the end of the year will chase the cares away and keep it cold with your favorite cup. Thank you.
Awesome, thank you. I don't know if anybody wants to give a table topic evaluation. If not, I will go ahead and give a 30-second table topic evaluation. Does anybody want to plug a few words to Elle? Or no? All right, I guess I will give her a 30-second evaluation. So Elle, you addressed the question. You showed us you had a visual aid, which is awesome to participate in a table topic. Normally we don't get that. And I like how you chose how you addressed the question, where you showed us where you got it, what you put in it, and how it comes out at the end. So I think you had a 3-part speech in there. So that was awesome. Thank you very much. Alrighty, my next question. What is your favorite way what do you do on an ice cold day to keep yourself happy and content? Kara. I know we don't have many cold days in Florida, but how do you keep yourself content and happy during those cold days when it's raining and wet or what have you?
Thank you for asking that lovely question. I'm not sure if you know, but I'm from Massachusetts, where it's cold and miserable lots of the year. So I'm well versed in this issue. Here in Florida, don't have to chase those cold days away. But up there, what I would do is wear a fluffy scarf. Sometimes I would knit it myself. We also used to have a pellet stove that would throw off lots of heat, and it would have this beautiful light that would make you feel warm and cozy. And I used to have an electric blanket, and that would make me feel more comfortable. I would also make soup. I love to make soup, but now I live here, so I never make soup because it's too hot. So soup, cocoa, tea, all those things, all those warm things that give you warm, fuzzy feelings. Before I digress, I practically own stock in UGG. I have lots of fuzzy boots so that my feet wouldn't be cold, and I barely ever get to wear them. So there's the answer to your question. That's how I keep myself warm and cozy on a chilly day, and turn the floor back to you.
Thank you, Kara.
Thank you.
Well, you answered the question, and again, you're like, Al, you had your little mini 3-part items. You told us where you're from to introduce the cold area that you're semi-familiar with. And then you grabbed all the pieces that made that cold day warmer for us. And now I feel like I'm ready to cozy up to a Hallmark movie with some Uggs, an electric blanket, and all that. So that's wonderful. Great. Appreciate that. Everybody is following along with that table topic and prepared speech segment to learn more about the prepared speeches. So that's awesome. All right, my next question. Do you prefer slushy snow, that little like small cubicle snow, or do you like a hardcore snow where it's very hard and make a snowball? I'm gonna pick Mike. I don't know if you've been in winter or have winter, but you can elaborate or answer another question.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. Hello, fellow Toastmasters and honored guests. I prefer no snow, but if I had to choose, it would be a fluffy snow that cakes nicely, not on a slippery ice, and that melts away pretty quickly. That would be my ideal snow. I'm not too concerned about snowballs and building snowmen and snow forts. Maybe when I was younger. I mean, I grew up I was born in Montreal, and the snow just packs itself. The forts are making themselves there. There's so many mountains there. It's just effortless. Whereas over on the West Coast, we call it the wet coast for a reason. There's not enough cold to really build up much of the snow. So it quite often drops and turns very slushy, turns dirty, and goes away, which is always nice. When it does linger, it can be quite annoying because it packs and it's more like ice. A lot of our municipalities don't plan as well for the salt and the clearing of some snow. For example, especially where I am, which is out in the middle of, population density is very low here. My street didn't even get plowed. I guess the last big snow drop, and I'm front wheel drive, and I've only been driving since moving up here, basically in the last year. So I've had my license for a while, but anyway, I'm rambling. So the point is, if it goes, I'm happy. Thank you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you, Michael. So you brought us in saying that you're from Montreal, just like Hera introduced where she's from, because I don't know where everybody's from and if they dealt with snow or ice and what have you. So that was interesting. And you brought us into how you work with the snow by where it doesn't snow much. You gave us a description, so that was excellent. That's always good use in the table topics. And you answered the question. You prefer the fluffy snow as opposed the crunchy snow or the hard snow. So that was awesome. Thank you very much, Michael. All right, I think I got time for a couple more. Do you prefer the ice cold climate or the sunny Florida climate? I'm going to pick Sue, or actually I'll pick Donna, since Donna's back. Do you prefer ice cold climate, since I know you're from Chicago where it can be windy cold, or do you prefer sunny warm Florida climate?
Thank you, Jeanette. Of course, I love hot weather. I grew up in Thailand for 14 years of my life, then moved to Chicago in 1976, and it was brutal when I had to deal with 0 and minus degree. Then I left Chicago 2001 and came to Florida. Then I'd be able to enjoy the hot weather again. Back in Chicago, it was horrible. During the winter month, I have to drive on the expressway through the snow, seen a lot of accidents. One instance was when during the Valentine, there was many cars get stuck in the highway, and I saw many guys pretty much left the car there, and in their hand, they must have flowers and chocolate. Poor guys have to walk through the snow and rain to bring this beautiful flower to their loved one. If they don't get home tonight, they might not get lucky. So when I came to Florida, I go, thank God. Wow, I can feel the energy of the heat again, enjoy the sunny day, enjoy the beach. So therefore, all in all, I do love hot, but not so hot. I enjoy the Chicago just because it's seasonal, but I don't miss the snow. I loved it here. I'm gonna stick around here. With the COVID, you cannot go anywhere anyway. So just enjoy where you are. Thank you, Jeanette.
Thank you. So Donna, you did awesome. You're very descriptive in your journey from Chicago to Florida, which I really love. And I guess you were talking Valentine's Day, because yes, it is wintertime, Valentine's Day, when men have flowers and chocolate for their other half. So that's awesome. I can picture that happening, and I'm just wondering what the guy would be thinking as he's trudging through the snow with the flowers in one hand and chocolate in the other. So that was awesome. And that's very good when you're answering a table topic question to be descriptive, because then it makes people feel that they're part of your journey through that question. So that's awesome. Thank you, Donna. All right, let's see. I can't read my own writing.
Then don't worry about it. Just a point of order, my camera seems to have failed. I don't know why, and I cannot, I can't, close out of it without exiting the meeting and restarting my computer. So that's why I just left it as it is.
Okay. Well, I'll just do one more question anyhow. Do you prefer your ice in a drink in big chunks of big ice chunks, or do you prefer it in like the ground up ice? Michelle, in your drink, do you prefer your cold drink in big fat ice cubes or small little slushy ice cubes? Or answer another question if you don't want to answer that one.
Yeah, I don't think I could speak too long on that subject because it's pretty, the crushed is the answer if I have anything. Although if you have a drink that has the cubes, sometimes if it's hot out, I'll actually eat the rest of the ice. And for me, that topic brings up having my son because that's what you do when you're delivering a baby, is you have ice chips. And so for day-to-day drinking, it's not too hot here, it's not too cold, so I actually prefer room temperature water, and basically that's all I drink is water or decaf coffee with but if I have a water, I usually put a little bit of lemon juice in it and some pink Himalayan salts for electrolytes. But yeah, as far as drinking, that's it for me. But I did use many cups having my son, and it was good because you get hot and you get anxious and you need something to hydrate yourself to get through that most difficult time. And it helps. It helps, and I think it helps the same way that if you have anxiety, splashing water on your face will kind of lower that anxious feeling. It'll snap you out of it. So I think that maybe having the ice when you're about to deliver probably does the same thing, is keeps your body from going over anxious and into shock and keeping it in the moment and present. So that's my ice baby sultry delivery.
Awesome. Thank you, Michelle. That was interesting. I've never had, even though I come from a big family, I've never had my own children, but I have brothers and sisters who I always help babysit for. So I don't know what it's like having a baby, but that's interesting to learn. And you answered the question because you answered you'd like your slushy ice instead of your chunky ice or your big cubed ice, which is good. I really wanted to ask a question to everybody. Do you prefer, or well, I'm not even gonna go there, but anywho, but you delivered very well and I liked your story. Thank you very much, Michelle. And that will conclude my table topic session. And I will pass it on over back to our Toastmaster of the day, Miss L.
Woohoo! Thank you, everyone, for such a wonderful meeting today. I hope everyone knows what their next ice drink will be and your next project. With that, we have Beverly to call on the tag team to let us know how we did with speech infractions and such, as well as to give a general evaluation of the meeting. With that, please welcome Beverly.
Thank you, Elle. I really, really, really enjoyed this meeting. I thank you for letting me be general evaluator. So now I'm going to call on my tag team. Zane, would you please help us with the times?
Yes, I can. Can you all hear me okay?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm not sure. First my keyboard failed, and now my camera failed too. I'll probably just have to reboot. Anyway, let me go through the times, and I'll start with our mini icebreakers, okay? So our first mini icebreaker from Donna Pringle was 2 minutes and 48 seconds. Kara Arnon, your mini icebreaker was 2 minutes and 24 seconds. Jeanette, your icebreaker was 2 minutes and 25 seconds. Mike, I'm sorry, I didn't catch your last name, is 3 minutes and 17 seconds. Michelle, your icebreaker was 3 minutes and 17 seconds. Oh, at the same time, how about that? Sue, your icebreaker was 4 minutes and 16 seconds. My own icebreaker was 3 minutes and 21 seconds. And finally, Beverly's icebreaker was 3 minutes and 7 seconds. Finally, for table topics, Elle, you spoke for 49 seconds. Kara, you spoke for 1 minute 19 seconds. Mike, you spoke for 1 minute 49 seconds. Donna, you spoke for 1 minute 48 seconds. And finally, Michelle, you spoke for 2 minutes and 12 seconds. Thank you very much. And apologies for the background lights not working during the table topic session.
Thank you so much, Zane. Counter, Kara.
Hello, everyone. This is my least favorite job. And I don't know if I'm very good at it because I get engaged in your speeches and oftentimes forget to mark the unnecessary utterances, but I have done my best. Mike, you had 1 3 ands, and 3 repeats. Zan, 1 2 so's, 1 and 1 repeat. Jeanette, 1 so, 1 and, that's it. Donna, 1 so, 1 but, and 1 repeat. Sue, 4 ahs and 1 and. Beverly, 1 and 1 repeat. Michelle, you had 2 ahs, 2 ums, 3 ands, and 4 buts. And L, 1 and 1 so. And that is my report. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Donna.
I am so sorry. I stepped away for at least, 30 minutes? And so I gathered the most I can before I left the meeting. Of course, Kara used sultry 1 time and Michelle as the table topic answer 1 time. In between, everybody I know you used once at least when I was not around, correct? And okay, let's see. Ellie, I just love your energy. Thank you for being our Toastmaster. Love your smile. Beverly, same thing. I love your background with the beaches theme and as a general evaluator, smiling faces, and I just love everybody here. Mike, I love your description of snowball, fluffy snowball. I love your radio voice. Are you in the radio business by chance? You should. You got beautiful voice. Zane, great opening. Welcome the guest. And I'm sorry I'm missing your face. Can you hear me, Zane?
I can hear you just fine.
Yeah.
Must be
Thank
different.
you. Jeanette, lovely, lovely Toastmaster. And I know she's been in Toastmaster only 20 years. but only 6 years, right, Jeanette? You've been there?
Yeah,
And you are
I said 10, you said 20, but it's
got it
only
right.
6.
See? It's all fake news. All fake news. She's just new to the market. But I love your phrase, fulfilling your dream with Toastmaster. Cozy up when you try to pair up with Kara regarding her description of her cozy, warm, how she dressed herself up in a winter month. So Kara, same thing. I love your description when you want to dress yourself up in a scarf, fluffy scarf, and all of that. I love it. And let's say Sue, sorry I missed your table topic. But no matter what, I love your smiling, same thing, and your background of the bridge. Michelle, I am with you in terms of decaf drink. I cannot do caffeinated. I'm too hyper to do that. This is without decaf, and you see how I can be so hyper already in the morning. Room temperature water, I love. Pink Himalaya salt, I haven't tried. I need to do that in my drink, right? Just put in the hot water. I love it. Yeah, that's a great idea. Yeah, thank you so much. All in all, enjoy the meeting, and I hope I didn't miss anybody. So now I would like to give it back to my GE Beverly Plant.
Thank you all for your excellent reports. Again, I said I enjoyed the format of the meeting. I felt that I got to know each of you a little bit more intimately. And this was a good format, and hopefully we can repeat it soon. Turn it back over to Elle and her smiling face.
Thank you, everyone. I will call on the guests for a brief comment of what you plan to do next, and then I will call on Zane as our presiding officer to close it out, and he can give us an update about our next meeting, which will be August 8th at 7:30 a.m. This is an important dual meeting with Japan Toastmasters. We do want everyone to sign up for roles. We could take that offline. But with that, let's hear from our guest. What did you like about the meeting, and what are you going to bring back to your home club, or any advice to us? I'll start with Sue, since you didn't get a table topic. You can tell us about your favorite ice cold drink if you want to. You missed out on that. All right, let's hear from Sue.
It's a wonderful meeting, and in the early morning, I really feel the energy. Without the coffee, we were all very hyper, and that's very give it a kick start of the day, particularly Saturday morning. I really love the creative ideas when the club did not have any planned speech, and then we go around the people to give their icebreakers. That's also very positive when we got to get to know people and a little bit deeper to know where the projects, where they go, and their dreams are. I think the one way, another very strength of the club is to give the feedback to the table topic speaker, which a lot of no club has done that. That's also give another dimension of evaluation to the speaker, because table topics can be very challenging because you speak on the fly and it's not prepared. Sometimes the KC really can give identify the areas of speaker can improve upon even more than prepared speeches, which is more, prepared speech has been rehearsed for a number of times, but table topics are not. So I think that's a great start and great areas that people can, a lot of clubs can learn from you.
Thank you, Sue, for that great feedback. Michelle, did you find what you were looking for? Given we're all on Zoom, you didn't really get the hybrid experience come back, as Zane mentioned. But tell us, what were your thoughts?
I thought it was interesting. You do things a little different than our club. I thought it was kind of comical because we have the equivalent of Kara. He's a Matthew or Matt, who's a realtor and plugs Rotary, and you know he's very humorous and he has a presence about him. So I got a good chuckle out of the juxtaposition of Kara with a member of ours. But I think Toastmasters International actually has a partnership now with Rotary, and so I think it's great. The cake and a pickle, that's very new. We use don't keep counting my ums because I know they're bad. We use acknowledge, so acknowledge the speaker, affirm these are the things that worked, and advance as your thinking partner, this is what could improve the speech. So it's kind of like the sandwich one, but overall I think it was fun. And even though I didn't get to see the true hybrid, we still are learning netiquette, and I really like that there was no punches held back, especially from Kara with the an ah counter, because it is something I, even after this long, still am working on. And the feedback that was given about your camera position, about seeing the full face instead of Mr. Wilson from here up. And so I think that those are the key points that I'll take away, is the importance of netiquette and how you show up as a guest in a club and how guests perceive the club members. We thought you were guys, I thought you guys were in Virginia, so I was expecting a bit more accents, but I don't know, it's kind of neat because I'm Canadian and we can't travel, and it's just nice to hear people's stories from where it's warm and muggy and humid, because I wouldn't like it. It would be too hot for me. I'm a redhead, and if I'm lucky, my freckles blend together for a tan. So I'm glad you enjoy your hot weather and enjoy Florida. And I am glad to have been a guest here. And thank you for being so warm and welcoming.
And if you really want to hear more accents, just really come in 2 weeks. You'll get all the accents you could ever ask for.
Yes. And now we're going to need a parachute ending because it's 10:59. Mike, if you just give a quick update, and I invite you all back, and then Zane, if you have a last minute plug. So please welcome Mike. How'd you like the meeting?
I enjoyed the meeting a lot. This is only my second Zoom meeting outside of the club that I'm in as a guest. So I feel really lucky to actually have a chance to experience the Pledge of Allegiance, which I thought was really cool. I'm wondering if every club does this now, so I got to check out some other ones to see. I thought that was great. I also really like the pickle. I like the icebreaker segment a lot, just because I know that's an area that some people kind of struggle with. They're like, icebreaker, I already did an icebreaker. I don't know how to do it again. So you get a nice little tight icebreaker, and everybody gets to see some different angles and approaches that people can use. I do plan to come to the next one. As I don't think I can join as a member because I'm a bit too much of a newbie, but you guys are advanced. But I'm really excited to see the hybrid and the Japan. I'm not super excited about 4:30 in the morning, but I'll be there. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike. You did convey that you understand the time zone, yes, excellent. All right, Zane, please close us out. Give any last minute reminders. Thank you, everyone. You're all invited back. We'll be reaching out to you.
Okay.
Zane.
So just to be quick and fast, all right, we, as is no doubt been mentioned ad nauseum at this point, we have a joint meeting with Nakano Toastmasters. They are based in Tokyo, Japan. I'll be frank with you, I just got inducted as a member because I've been consistently attending their meetings for the last 3 months, all right? But they are a great club. They're an energetic club. You guys will enjoy them. Now, one thing that I want to bring your attention, I know our VPPR, Lorianne, has been working on a flyer for us, and that's great. You know, when I was chit-chatting with, the Toastmaster of the day, they actually put together something of a promotional video. So for our club members, I took a look at the video they sent, and I think they want a little more group shots. So if you have any group videos, of Smedley, okay, or group photos, please, please, please send them to me today at latest by tomorrow morning, just because, so we can slide them in. Some of the shots we have on the website are rather old, and I just want to make sure we have it, okay? So thank you, okay? I have to get going. I want to say thank you to Elle for running this meeting so efficiently. And again, I am sorry about the camera issues, but everyone have a great day, and I will see you all very, very soon, hopefully in 2 weeks for our joint meeting with Nakano. Thank you.
Okay, bye, Zane.
Thank you, Zane.
Bye-bye. Thank you, everybody.
Thank
Have
you,
a great day.
everyone.
Thank you, everybody.
Cheryl. Thank you,
And
Sue.
sorry.